Good morning, everybody. Today I am starting off hauling some bales, just some barley bales that we baled up here a little while ago. We got the Bueller Versatile hooked up to the bale wagon. This bale wagon can hold 14 bales in total, so we're just ripping back and forth right now, picking them all up. I think there was 150-ish on this field, so a little over 10 loads to go back and forth with. So we're just dumping the bales behind the corrals here. This is where we put all of the canola straw and any other bedding, I guess. All gets stacked right out back here. Super easy when we're bedding the corrals in the winter time to grab them from here, and then just to drive up into the corrals over there. Closer the better. Wagon unloads pretty cool. Tilts back, and then there's chains underneath all of those bales that just push them out the back. So the bales just sit on these chains. Works really good. But if you're unloading and you're pushing the bales back with that chain, you have to run it backwards to get the bales off the back. If you step on the brakes in the tractor and run those chains, the chains will run and the bales will kind of just slide over top of them. And if you're not careful, you can cut the bottom of the net wrap off the bale. So you gotta be pretty careful. We didn't do it here. It's just something you got to get used to and you got to be careful with if you're gonna unload bales with this wagon. Just pulled over on the gravel road here. I noticed this plate that holds the cylinder to lift the arms. It's kind of was a little bit loose. You can see it's been having some problems, but snapped this bolt right off, which was making this bottom plate kind of swing up and down, and that's what I saw. So I'm not gonna lift another bale with this thing until I get another bolt in there. So I can't slide this bolt in with the washer. I need the washer on there. It just doesn't let me push the bolt over enough. So I'm gonna go and grind some of this washer flat. As I was holding that washer on the grindstone here, I could feel it getting hotter and hotter. I think we got it enough, but we're just gonna let that cool down for a bit. So this bolt was kind of loose. I noticed the other two bolts on this side were loose as well. So we're just gonna tighten everything up here. Few bales hauled so far. This whole area will get filled in with bales. We got over 1,000 to bring in, so probably won't even be enough room just in this area here. A question I always get when I bring this thing out for a video is, why don't you guys use a flatbed trailer to haul your bales back and forth, especially when you guys have thousands of bales to haul, versus one of these Highline bale wagons. you know, a bale wagon that only carries 14 bales, why don't you guys get a flatbed trailer that'll carry, you know, maybe 35 or 40 bales and haul with that? It's a pretty simple answer for us. Most of the bales that we haul are really close to the farm, so the time that you save with one of these wagons being able to load itself, I can rip out to the field and get this wagon loaded in 2 minutes and unload it in 20 seconds. Like, it's so quick, back and forth, back and forth. If your fields are really close to your farm, this thing wins. It'll beat one of those big flatbed trailers. Unless you have like multiple guys with multiple loaders loading and offloading your flatbed trailer, this thing's gonna be a lot quicker in between the field and the farm. But if your fields were, you know, 10 kilometers away from the farm and you had to haul a ton of bales a super long distance, it would probably be quicker to have a big flatbed trailer, but that's not the case for us, and that's why we run one of these bale wagons. We got the feed wagon pulled up to the new DDG bin. So we have the 3 grains just at the other feed bins over there. Barley grain, the milk cow supplement minerals, and beet pulp. And then we got to drive out here for the dry distiller's grain. Just got this bigger bin so we didn't have to move the dry distiller's grain to the smaller bin over there. This way we can just dump it straight off of the truck right into this bin. And a couple of things we did different with this bin and the auger. The auger's a bit shorter. In the winter time, when it gets that minus 40 degrees Celsius, those belts, they get super cold, and it's really a lot harder for that motor to spin the actual auger itself. And making the augers a little bit shorter and making it a little bit steeper is gonna make it easier for that motor to spin the auger, especially when it's cold out in the winter time. So that's one thing we did a little bit different here. It's also a 5 horsepower motor, and I believe the ones over there are just 2.5. So hopefully this is gonna be a lot more reliable in the winter time when it's super cold out. And we got it wired up temporarily here, kind of. The switch on and off right here. Wire goes up to the motor on the auger there, and then the line is just pulled on the ground here on top. We didn't bury this line because hopefully within a year or 2 or 3, we're gonna move this bin in between the machine shed and the hay shed over there, along with some other bins. And there's a grain leg right there too that we can hopefully set up. Just put everything, a whole brand new feed mill set up right over there. Put some planks along the wire so we don't mow over it. I was using the New Holland loader this morning, but the tub grinder showed up and he needs that New Holland to load the bales into it. It's just right over there, making a nice big pile. So he's just grinding up those bales because we want to feed them. We feed a little bit of straw to the dry cows and some other corrals. And yesterday when I was picking up those barley bales, I also went to one of our wheat fields to pick up a load of wheat straw. The wheat and the barley straw look incredibly similar when you're just looking at them, especially when they're baled up in the bale. But the actual nutritional value between barley straw and wheat straw, there's a pretty big difference in between the two. I believe the one has more potassium than the other, and that really matters when you're feeding it to the cows, especially dry cows. And that's why I had to go to a wheat field specifically to pick up some wheat straw. And it actually makes a pretty big difference. Even though the straws look very similar, their nutritional composition, or whatever you want to call it, is pretty different. We get the tub grinder out here maybe once every 45 to 60 days, kind of in that range. He'll grind up about 60 to 70 bales and we'll feed it within that time, and then he comes again. We don't want to grind too big a pile and then leave it there forever, because rain or snow or any moisture is gonna kind of rot that straw and make it lower feed quality. So we want to avoid tub grinding too much at a single time. It's probably one of the broken bales I baled there. It's nice to get those cleaned up like this. Well, that tub grinder is going to be grinding there probably for a total of 2 hours to those 70 bales. I think it's around 70. And so that is going to be it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. Check out the Instagram @SaskDutchKid, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.